What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. I hope everybody's having a great day. Guys, we're doing another Perseverance photo. This one here is from Sol 71. Now, wait until you see this photo. Talk about a whitewash. And I've showed you guys many times where they put their own, what looks like compression artifacts over these photos. But they're artifacts which look like regular compression artifacts from a really bad low-res photo, right? But I'm going to show you that they're literally putting them on this photo. So it is not actual photo compression artifacts, right? So let's dive right into this. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right. You can see it right here. Mars Perseverance, Sol 71, right Mastcam Z camera. And you can see the description underneath the photo. NASA's Mars Perseverance rover acquired this image using its right Mastcam Z camera. Mastcam Z is a pair of cameras located high on the rover's mast. This image was acquired on May 3rd, 2021, Sol 71, at the local mean solar time of 18:09 or 6:09 p.m. Image credit goes to NASA, JPL, Caltech, and Arizona State University. All right, look at this photo, guys. Just look at it. You can download it here, and of course it's a PNG. But anyway, you can see it there. Wait until we get into this, guys. You're just going to be like, what is going on with this photo? And I'm going to need your help on this, guys, because this one's cool. I'm going to show you some things in this photo in the foreground, and then I'm going to show you the stuff that's in the background. All right, let's dive into Photoshop. Let's have a look. All right, here we are right here. Now, guys, to me, this is a whitewash, man. These are supposed to be absolutely brilliant photos. They're supposed to be crystal clear, and clearly they're not, okay? Now, if you guys remember this photo, of course, it was in color, but we had this little mound in the back. You can see that. To the left-hand side, there was a mountain here that had this weird piece sticking down over here. Remember this? Okay? And if you look to the right of this mound, you could look like right around this area, roughly, in the background, and you can see what looks like, remember they look like structures or something on pads. Well, this video here may confirm that, what we were seeing. Okay, now let's have a look at the foreground, because I want to show you what I'm talking about as far as these compression artifacts, right? This is something they're adding. This is not in the photo. This is something they're adding. And you can see, just look at the crap in the back of this, and this mountain right here, right? But is there anything we can extract out of it? The answer is yes. Okay. Again, let's jump into this. I'm going to show you some things in here right off the bat that are just crazy. Okay, first of all, we have this so-called rock. This flat rock. Is it a rock? It is not. Notice this right here, this what looks like a cone-type rock. Cone-shaped type rock. But guess what? Look at the line. It literally goes behind it and does this. There's some other white pieces you see here. Look at it in the back. Look at the right here. You can see it going like this. And then it comes back out. So this is here to block something. Or they just felt like throwing it in the picture, right? We have this weird looking rock. Not sure what to make of that. Because it's not part of the rover, because this is the UHF antenna right here. Some other artifacts. Something back here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the burn tool and show you this. These are parts. Look at this. Well, let's not go in too far. This item. Okay? It's literally doing this. And has what looks like these pieces going across. Okay? We'll see this much better. There's a box type thing, or at least it looks like a box. There's other pieces in here. You can see these white pieces doing this. Looks to be two of them. But check it out. There's also more going this way. Okay? There's something white coming down right here. And it literally goes off to the side, and then it kind of fades off. We get something sticking out right here. Looks like it's in a square opening type thing, and it's just, they completely went over it. This funky looking rock here. This is pretty neat. We have these items up here. It looks like a giant fork sticking out of the ground. And guys, I said this a million times. We can only speculate as to what these things may be, right? So we just don't know, but they do stand out. They are anomalous, right? There's some objects here. It looks like we have some kind of weird piece doing this. And then there's something coming out of it doing this. Okay? Other pieces going like this. Now, let me show you this right here. Because although it's this weird haze over it, check this out. We can see this line right here. But then there's some clarity over here. What gives? You should not see that. Compression artifacts don't just get choosy in a photo. You might say, well, no, those are artifacts right there. Those are absolutely artifacts. No. These have been put there. Again, look at this right here. Notice all of these little squares. You can see them a little bit in here. Okay, this is a little bit more clarity, got a little bit more detail, if you want to call it that. And then you have all of these here. Look at the squares. X right in the middle of this one. Look at them all, right? Not as noticeable in other places. Why don't we see them over this? We don't, but we do see a blur line. Remember I told you they have like strips of like blur in darker areas, right? Okay, let's do this. I'm going to show you this right off the bat. I'm just going to brighten it up. And again, we can see these things doing this, but yet there's some somewhat clarity in this area here, and yet all around it is complete trash, okay? Because I can still see this when I zoom out. I should not see that. Let's keep going with this. All right, so use the burn tool, and this is what happens. Check this out. I'm going to zoom into this. Again, look at the blurring with these artificial compression artifacts. You can see right here, this has got pretty decent clarity. This white piece going like this looks like it's got, goes up and goes up like this, comes back down, and we can see this piece coming out, and it runs right into this blur. Yes, this stuff is being added, guys. Some people say, oh, you know, you're just looking at, you know, compression artifacts. No, we're not. Notice how when I used the burn tool over this didn't disappear. Yeah. It did not disappear, but we were able to bring details out of this area here. See that? That piece did not, and I went over this thing like this with the burn tool. A burn tool will burn stuff that's trash out, meaning overlay that's throwing over it. The actual item should stay there. Now, don't get me wrong, if you use too much burn, you can literally mess the photo up. So, how much you use is key, right? Check this other item out down here now. Now, is that really there? Let's have a look. It is. There it is. We can see this literally coming down. Almost looks like a front of a face, a statue face of some sort. We can see something going like this coming over to here. But we can see some details coming out of that. See that? We were able to burn enough off of this where we could see other details. Now, jump over to the left. Check out these parts, guys. Here's the original. You can see them right there. I'll go back and forth. These pieces are, in fact, in the photo. I was telling you about right here where it has. We got these other, it looks like framework, bent up, whatever this is. Not sure what to make of that. And the stuff is actually in there. You can see this, right? Well, actually, that one went like this. You can still see another one right here underneath. See it? We still got this one, and it continues on. Actually goes like this. And then we got the other one underneath as well. There's one doing this, and then we got it going like this. See it? It's right there. Scoot over to the left. What looks like weird parts, folks. Check this out. Got something right here. Two pieces there. Got these other pieces just going off in different directions. Something right here. Not sure what to make of that. Okay. Here's this other piece in the background I showed you earlier. This right here. Come on. And that's in the photo there, guys. You can see it. It's in the photo. But again, we got this blurring right here. We'll go bring it to right here. Look at this. Again, streaks, but yet you can still see it going like this. Okay? Notice how the blurring is trying to take this out, but I was able to use the dodge tool to bring out the rest of this white piece, and you really can still see it. Yeah. It's there. There you go. Now you might say, Chris, this looks like intelligent design on a lot of these things. Where's it coming from? Let's have a look, shall we? in the background here, you can see this right here. We have what almost looks like some kind of weird straight piece going across. We see what looks like the top of darker areas. See this right here? Right here. Right here. But look at this. Straight across, of course that's not too straight, but you get the idea, is nothing but blur. These blur compression artifacts to cover up what's here. Now, you can burn through this, because if something's white behind this blur, you'll still be able to bring it out, although it's still blurry, but you'll still be able to bring that out. If we were to look in the back of this photo, I want to show you something else here. There's what looks like a fudge line, guys, and it does this. Now, why is that important? Well, because there are things in this photo that run from the top of this line into this other fudge line. Wonder why they would do that, right? And you can see right here, it's going down like this. It actually does meet there, okay? Notice this as well. Very, very faint. Right here. There's something coming out of this. Okay? Going like this. You'll see that much better in a moment. See that? You can kind of see it right there. Okay. So that's in the photo, guys. This mountain is nothing of the sort. You'll see this actually goes like this. You can see it very faintly coming down. Oh, wait a minute. It's going below the fudge line. Why would it be doing that? So what are we seeing here? Well, we have a bunch of artificial artifacts all up in here. Okay? But is there anything we could drag out like I asked earlier? Yes. Let's start getting into this. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Notice this piece on the very far right. We have what looks like some kind of weird structure. Goes like that. But keep looking, guys. Check this out. It continues on. It literally goes like this. Down into this grayer area. Going like this. There are other pieces here. And you'll see this. Something appears to be doing this. Coming back down. And I'll bring this out a whole lot better in a moment. Got a piece doing this. Right? And it has, looks like another structure. Now, again, don't get me wrong. We do have these artificial squares, so it's messing with this big time. So when I show you these objects in the background, I don't believe that they're all structures or artificial, or it's this actual overlay of this compression artifacts, and you can see this with ease. My God, look at this. All in here. Look at them all. That's for a reason. Now, when I back out of this, you should not see that, and yet I can still see them. The only way you should be able to see a compression artifact is if you're really zoomed, where you can see them with ease, and yet I can still back out. I'm still seeing it. What, are you kidding me? That's how you know that these are fake. Again, look at the lines right here, coming up, going across, and then dropping down. We have something doing this, right? And again, we have all these other features, but there's much, much more in here. Let's back out. Let's do this slowly. Okay? All right, so I started to get into this. I think what they were trying to do is, like, at the foot of the hill, make that fudge line, make it look like it's the foot of the hill and start to go up. We're starting to bring out little bits and pieces in this photo. Check this out. This larger one. Again, we have something doing this. You can see it coming up, going across, comes up, goes across like this. And it looks like there's some darker features in this thing. Not sure what to make of that. But check these other ones out. Other pieces. We're trying to pull this out from under this manipulation. Here. Here's that piece I was telling you about earlier. Right here. I'm just going to circle it, or go around it rather. Coming out of what looks like a hole here, and this thing's coming down. So it has pieces like this. See that? Yeah. What's really in this photo, guys? Wow. Again, look at this mess. Absolutely been taken out of the photo. See that? But when you darken it, you start to really realize there's much, much more in here that's being blocked out. Look at this. Wow. That is sad. You should not be able to see that again from a distance, and yet I can. I can see that perfectly well. You should not be able to see that. Okay, let's keep going with this. Okay, and again, I'm trying to make this darker. Act like you're looking through the fog and you're trying to see what's in the fog, right? Check this out. So I tried a couple techniques to see if I could bring this out any better. So this is what I've got so far. Notice all the little pieces in here. Okay. Now, I know a lot of you guys ask me for scale. Now, this is quite a distance away when you look at this photo. Again, here's the top of the antenna here, and the rover's out of sight. Now, the top of the mast is 7 feet, but this is not. This should be right around 5'8"-ish. Roughly, your head would be right here. So if you were to keep walking, this is pretty much off in the distance, right? How far? I could not tell you with any certainty, okay? So let's keep going, like I said. Try to bring up more of this in the background. Again, look through the dark areas. Look at the lines, right? I'm going to go ahead and bring this up a little more. And you can see the shapes and pieces in here, like I said. Starting to bring out a little bit more in here. Notice this little piece right here. It looks like a smooth 90-degree angle. Kind of comes up like this and goes like that. We have something else on the ground here. It looks like some kind of little odd structure type thing going like this. It's like oval. Right? Looks like it's doing this. And then the back of it kind of comes up like this here. There's like a little split here. And then it kind of goes up like this too. Not sure what to make of that. Again, here's that other piece. We got other pieces up in here. And notice this other top line still continues on. So is this part fake? I don't think it is. And I don't believe all of this here is fake down here. In other words, this may be a fudge line, but I also believe that there's something else to it. In other words, there's something solid. There's something real there, right? There's another piece. You can see it pretty darn well again. Right there. See that? Again, these are mechanical parts. Where are they coming from? Probably from the structured area. Okay? Okay, let's keep going. All right, so now I started off in a different way. I'm going to go ahead and hit, this is what I call B enhancements, meaning I tried an alternative. Let's try that. Okay. So we'll zoom in a little bit. And we'll bring it down. Notice these things are really starting to pop now, where we're seeing these weird pieces all through here. Again, look at the actual lines and not this one here just trying to fool your eyeballs right here. These pieces literally go like this through this. Okay, and there's other pieces coming up like this. Now keep in mind, you're not supposed to even see this. So if you're having a hard time seeing other, we're not going to bring all the lines out, guys. There's a reason why they put this overlay over it. So you cannot see this. Go over to the left. Something way up in here. A couple pieces up there. But it gets better. I literally bring out this as well. And again, I showed you in the very beginning what was going on. Okay? Now, what I do is I use the dodge tool, went over this for two reasons. One, I want to expose the actual blurring area. And you can see that right there. Okay? This is not covered up. This is the reason why you see these whited areas, okay? And this is what happens when we try to use the dodge tool to see if we can bring out the rest of this white piece. This is what we end up with. Okay? Now, what else do we find in this photo? Let's back up. Again, this is no hill. It literally goes back down to this area. And let's say it was a hill. Who cares? What I'm seeing is stuff that doesn't belong here. Now, anything that had a white signature, just went over with the dodge tool, and this is what popped out. I'm seeing what looks like structures or some mechanical things being brought through a lot of this blurring, this purpose compression artifact blur slash darker streaks to try to hide what's really in this photo. Now, it would make sense if we're seeing these mechanical parts in the foreground, where would they have to come from? They'd have to be coming from somewhere. Back up a little bit. Check this stuff out. Again, we're not going to see entirely all of the pieces. This is the reason why you might see like a half a structure and you go, well, where's the rest of it? Well, they might have used really dense compression artifacts or blurring to actually take whatever out or the rest of it out, right? Again, there's something in the background there. And guys, like I said, I've done this video before where we had this mound and all we had to do is look to the right and I said, wow, it looks like a bunch of things like pads or something. And guess what? Flat objects sitting right here doing this. And maybe because the way they were much smaller in the background, we didn't really see those that well. But now we're starting to see more lines and more things in here. I believe what we're seeing is structural, mechanical objects, whatever they may be, intelligently made, period. Even if we are so far off, who cares? The point is, what I'm seeing is something that's not natural. And I think it's awesome, but here's the funny part. We already know where Perseverance is. There she is. And of course, we know where Ingenuity is, flying around above these things. Now again, was the sole purpose of Ingenuity just to see if it can test flight and see if they can fly something on Mars? Or did they do this because the rover can't go to certain parts of this and they need to be able to fly over it? Think about that. It would make more sense to send something that can fly over these things than it is to send a rover there and run over it or run into it. You know, they want to be able to take an aerial view plus the view they're getting from the actual Perseverance, put all these photos together. They can get a pretty decent, maybe 3D image out of this, guys. But check that out. There it is. This is the best you can probably get out of this. And like I said, I'm seeing what looks like mechanical things, structural. And that's just barely what you could pull out of the background of this because, again, look at the lines. They're still there. Here. And like I said, guys, I used the dodge tool to see anything that's got a white signature to pop it out more. And you can see that. A lot of things that are white, that's all we did. Use the dodge tool. It'll just make it whiter. That's all. And the other thing I wanted to do is try to erase this line. You can see right here still barely. So that this top piece wasn't white and this is much darker. The idea is to bring out the whole object, and that's the whole idea what that we were trying to do there, right? But you can see this, even though it's got this line across, they try to blur it out. You can see it stops here. So it's like they were trying to take out these bigger structures or take half of them out so you didn't see them, right? But again, without the dodge tooling, have a look. Pause it any way you want, guys, you know that. They really went to town on this left-hand side. You can see that. All in here. I mean, wow. Again, down here, they did the same thing. And you can see the line again. Look at this. Where they took just about 90% of this thing out, because you can see it all the way around. Right here. That's actually an object. But you can actually see where they've got the blur. Right there. And you can see all of these compression artifacts. Fake artifacts, that is. And again, this would make sense. All this junk would have to come from somewhere. Okay? Again, we have this area here where I showed you what looks like somewhat clarity, and I use the term loosely. These white pieces right here. Something coming out. But you can see right here. Comes down, goes like this. All of this has pretty much been messed with. They do their best they can to just take this stuff out. But then some people will ask, well, why didn't they take that out? I mean, it's like, boom, sticks out like a sore thumb. And I totally agree with you guys. Why wouldn't they do that? Why? It really doesn't make any sense whatsoever, does it? Again, we've got this piece down here. There's something right there. You can see that. I can bring it back to the original. Again, we can burn away this overlay, but you can't burn away the parts. That's why you'll say, wow, it looks totally different. Yeah. But there it is. Folks, look at the parts in here. Up here. Again, they're going over a civilization that once lived here. They had a catastrophic event. There you go, guys. Let me bring this back out. Show you this thing here one more time. Again, pause it where you like. And there it is. Folks, what are we seeing here? Tell me what you honestly think. I've told you before, NASA, or whoever's doing these photos, censoring them, whatever, have the ability to make what looks like compression artifacts. Again, you can have a really poor resolution photo, and you can see these quite easy, right? Compression artifacts, we can see them pretty easy. But usually you have to zoom into these things in order to actually see that. But these things, I can back way out of the screen and still see them. How is this possible? Now, is it possible it's so compressed that you can see them? Sure, absolutely. What I'm seeing is an overlay. I showed you sections where, and I called it clear detail, but clearly it's not clear. But there's areas where there's not quote-unquote compression artifacts. How is this possible? You know, photos don't just have compression artifacts in some areas and the other rest of the photos completely fine. It doesn't work that way. If you got a really bad photo that's been compressed quite a bit, you're going to see these artifacts, right? It's going to be all over the photo, from tip to tip, up and down, side to side. It's as simple as that, right? So the question is, what are we really seeing here? These are made and put on there by these people who are censoring these photos, and I was able to bring out some of them lines in the background and draw it through these compression artifacts, these wannabe compression artifacts, or the centering overlay. But I want you guys to tell me what you think. What do you think about the objects in the front? Even if we were to dismiss everything in the back, what about the things in the front? There's clearly things that are laying there that don't look natural. And to me, these things are artificial, and they scream intelligently made just the things in the foreground. Where's this stuff coming from? Those structures in the back. That's my opinion. Of course, you guys can give me your take. I want to hear your take on it and your thoughts. Drop your comments down below. Guys, let me know what you see, and let me know what you think. Please like and share. It's always appreciated. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that YouTube will share it. And if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell on the right-hand side. And when you do that, there should be a little drop-down box. When it comes down, hit all. If you don't hit all, you may not get all the notifications. And folks, we do have a moon video coming out. It's on the back burner, but we're going to try to get that out for you. And we do have more Mars, Perseverance, as well as some Curiosity photos, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Always appreciate it. Have yourselves a great morning, great afternoon, and great evening, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.